Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Matter. It is 4 a.m. on this August 7th. Thanks for starting your morning with us right here on Fox 5 and streaming on Fox Local. Here's what's happening today. A hot and humid day ahead with the chance for more storms. The Fox 5 weather team tracking just how hot it'll get and whether the rain could impact your weekend plans. Plus, a potential deal in the Middle East that could change the price at the pump. What Iranian officials are saying about a possible agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz this morning. And we are just a few weeks away now from the Freedom 250 Grand Prix in D.C. We're live with the details on the widespread road closures that race will bring. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. We have made it that much closer to the weekend, and glad to have you here with us. Rain last night. I saw those severe storms coming through the region. When I went to bed, it was downpouring out, and much of the same for the rest of the evening, it seemed like.
Jacqueline, that's exactly what happened, right? So as we were all, well, for those of us that wake up at 2 a.m., we're getting ready for bed. We saw the skies open up, and it just became that very much prolific rain shower event, right? We got some good rains coming up, and of course they came with a bit of some stronger winds, but luckily nothing too much out there, at least in terms of damage, right? We deal with another setup today similar to yesterday. It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, as Jacqueline was mentioning, but yes, we do have that stormy weather. Anytime we start to see temperatures and humidity starting to head into the higher ends of our range that we see today, we usually end up with some of those storms. We're going to talk about that, how that impacts, of course, the weekend, and yes, will it last throughout the entire weekend for those afternoon showers? Well, we'll talk more about that here coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Caesar, we'll talk to you then. And meantime, we are seeing images of that storm damage coming into our newsroom. Montgomery County Fire responding to a tree down in front of this Bethesda home on Bells Mill Road last night. No injuries were reported. The search is on for the gunman who shot and killed a man in a Prince George's County neighborhood. Police were called out to Stoddard Lane in Hyattsville yesterday afternoon. Witnesses tell Fox 5 the suspect pulled up, shot at the victim, and then drove away. Investigators do not believe that shooting is random. Neighbors speaking out about the violence.
I'm shocked. You know, this is a very quiet neighborhood, and to hear that this happened, just utter shock. That's all I could say.
Police have not yet released the victim's identity or a description of the suspect. So far, no arrests have been made. Metro Transit Police looking for a person they say assaulted a WMATA employee. This happened last weekend on board an M54 Metro bus near Colesville Road and Woodmore Circle in Silver Spring. Police ask if you recognize the person pictured or know anything about what happened to reach out to MTPD. Happening today, a man convicted in a deadly Gaithersburg armed robbery will be sentenced. D'Angelo McCroy shot 35-year-old Lonnie Sawyer in February of 2024. Sawyer's body was found in the woods off of Game Preserve Road. According to charging documents, Sawyer's car and two of the suspects were captured on surveillance video at a Sheetz about a mile from where Lonnie's body was found. Police say the suspects also stole Sawyer's credit cards and tried to use them at the gas station and other businesses. The trial resumes this morning for a former Montgomery County public school teacher accused of assault. Police say Nadine Dogbo entered into Glenhaven Elementary School last June without authorization. She then assaulted two staff members, prompting a school lockdown. Dogbo faces several charges, including trespassing and assault. Staying in Maryland, a Cheer Academy owner charged with sexual abuse will see a judge today. State police say 52-year-old Dustin Moss Burkett allegedly sexually abused a 9-year-old girl. Burkett owns Eastern Shore Cheer Academy in Stevensville. Investigators claim that he abused the victim on the property while under his supervision. Switching gears here, the Freedom 250 Grand Prix will be racing through the streets of D.C. in a little more than 2 weeks from now, but the race's impact in the district is already starting. D.C. police releasing an updated traffic advisory on Thursday. Some parking restrictions and overnight road closures are already going into effect. The 1.66-mile course includes stretches of Pennsylvania, Constitution, and Independence Avenues.
I think that's crazy. I mean, sometimes I think about it with like George Washington got dropped into like modern day, and he's like walking around and then he just sees this F1 car. It's like, boom, he's probably like, I think that would be kind of crazy. So humanity's come a long way.
You can find a full list of those road closures and parking restrictions on our Fox Local mobile app. And remember, Fox 5, your home for complete coverage of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. You can look for live coverage here on Fox 5 and streaming on Fox Local leading up to the race and on August 22nd and 23rd when that race is set to run. Coming up at 4:30, our Melanie Alnwick will have more in a live report. All right, 4:05 now. Let's get our first look out the door. Live look out to our camera at the Wharf 14th Street Bridge. Everyone moving along nicely this morning after what was some tumultuous storms overnight, but kind of a similar story today as yesterday. Caesar, what do you think?
Yeah, so it's certainly going to be similar to what we had yesterday. I just want to point back to that one guy. The fact that he was like George Washington would be so surprised about these like the Grand Prix cars. I think he would be surprised at how big the city has grown also.
Oh,
so just
100%.
in general, right?
Yes.
So definitely. But in general right now, one thing that we have seen from yesterday, right? Temperatures were in the 90s. Yes, I know it necessarily didn't feel it felt warmer than that, but yeah, we only got into the low 90s, but the humidity was oppressive, and we continue to unfortunately deal with just as much humidity still going in towards the rest of today. Most of us are going to see temperatures back in towards those 90s as we head towards the peak parts of the afternoon, but for the most part, most temperatures are expected to still stay nice and comfortable in the mid-70s over the next few hours. So looking at your planner for today, you could expect to see temperatures to be about 79 degrees by the time we get towards 9 a.m. It's still going to be very humid. It's going to be hot out there by the time we get towards about noon at 88 with that humidity. And yes, that humidity, so there's some sunshine, all of that together combines to make it for a much hotter and stormy style of afternoon. So again, we're still dealing with a lot of this high pressure that's just feeding in a lot of that humid and hot air out there. We're going to talk more about the timing of these storms coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Caesar, we'll talk to you then. Let's take a look at our traffic here now this morning. Just some drive times for you as far as construction is concerned, as is typical at this hour. This is along 95 heading northbound in Newington. This is construction between Virginia 286 Fairfax County Parkway and 289 Franconia Springfield Parkway. Traffic, as you see, getting by in the left lane only, so you are seeing about 21 minutes if you are driving through that work zone here at 407 this morning. Well, D.C. police enforcing a juvenile curfew zone in the Columbia Heights neighborhood in Northwest this weekend. People under the age of 18 cannot gather in large groups there. The zone running from 8 to 11 p.m. tonight and tomorrow. Authorities also reminding people that the citywide curfew still runs from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Some new details this morning in the shooting of the wife of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, former Commanders coach as well. Their son Elijah called police 2 days before he allegedly shot his mother, Mia Bieniemy, in their Ashburn home last month. She did survive that shooting and is now recovering. The Athletic reporting the 27-year-old told first responders that his parents were withholding his weapons, making him feel defenseless. Elijah Bieniemy was arrested and charged. More delays in the Catherine Hoggle case out of Maryland. The mother accused of killing her 2 young children in 2014 was back at a Montgomery County courtroom yesterday. A judge expected to rule on whether her attorneys could pursue an insanity defense, but that hearing was delayed. Her lawyers say that they are waiting on state health records, but prosecutors claim the defense missed its deadline. Hoggle returns to court on August 20th.
2025 and 2026 is on pace for record amounts of anti-Semitic incidents against Jewish-owned institutions, against houses of worship, and the like. But right here in Montgomery County, we've experienced some of the most frequent anti-Semitic incidents that we have in recent memory. You really don't want to have to focus or be nervous that, like, oh my goodness, maybe something is going to happen while we're here. So it's really important that in order for us to be able to carry out that basic human function of communicating with their Creator, we want to make sure that everybody comes here and they know that they're safe and secure.
A local rabbi there and his Silver Spring synagogue now fighting with Montgomery County in federal court over a new law banning guns within 100 yards of houses of worship, schools, and parks. The lawsuit argues the rule violates constitutional rights and strips Jewish congregants of self-defense during a time of rising anti-Semitism. This morning, ICE is criticizing Prince George's County for failing to honor a detainer request for 2 illegal immigrants. Agents say that they had to make a traffic stop to take the men back into custody. ICE says Jose Canamo Jordan is a 28-year-old Venezuelan national and suspected gang member. Meanwhile, 23-year-old Felipe Fernando Raimundo is a Guatemalan national. ICE says the men have criminal records and they pose a potential risk to the community. County officials say they do cooperate with ICE in cases involving illegal immigrants accused of violent crimes. Coming up, we're heading overseas for the latest in the Middle East this morning. The potential agreement currently underway that could have a direct effect on drivers. We're also following a handful of temporary closures at several Smithsonian museums. Details on the cause and whether the facilities are back open this morning.